I would debate that you have just as much, if not more, pressure for the production because you're worried about what the buck. He's worried about the shot and putting his arrow where it needs to go. You're worried about not screwing up any of the process.
Oh yeah,
getting the shot. Trying not to be picked off by a 200-inch whitetail.
Try not to move.
Yeah, so I
think there's more pressure on the cameraman. I've been on both sides of it. I mean, I'd much rather be in the driver's seat with the bow in my hand than have the camera in my hand as far as the pressure goes.
Yeah. Dude, plus you got a giant buck and you're like shaking,
dude,
and you're like, God damn it, hold steady.
You're
gonna
shaking,
mess
accidentally your thumb hits the record to stop the button.
Oh, the whole double punch.
The double punch.
The double punch. Been there, done that.
Why
even bring that up?
We don't mess with cameras much, but that's like the one thing you hear about is like the double tap on the record button.
Yeah. Well, even the prior farm work and the setup, when we're setting up a farm, you sit there and you debate this stuff for hours and, how we're going to mow this trail or put this blind.
You lose sleep over it.
Even that is what's, the pressure's on from there. You're like, okay, is this in the right spot? You're sitting there, you're waiting. You have the deer, right? He's there. Now it's up to you not to screw it up.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, it's.
Well, a prime example, the one we just shot this past fall at 233. I mean, where he lived.
It's insane to me still. It's like.
Where he lived was, if you took our farm and you dropped the pin dead center, right? He lived in the perfect spot. The worst spot for us for access. Horrible.
Smart deer.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, that's why he's 233, right?
Right.
So we basically looked at each other and said, this is, if we had a helicopter, we could kill him. If not, how are we going to do this? And so we took, 18-hour drive home, coming from out of New Mexico, strategizing from our elk trip, coming home strategizing how we're going to kill him, and we came up with basically walking a creek the entire way.
Mm-hmm.
And crossing a huge bean field that we knew coming out was going to be through an atomic bomb on a third of our farm. But we had to go all in on that particular deer because we had the weather. It was October 1st, opening day, and it was the cold fronts of all cold fronts.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, if this is the time, it's the time.
But at that caliber of deer, though, you're going to bust out half your farm. You're going to do it.
Well, that was it. We're like, where he lives, we have to go all in on this and and basically, give past everything else we want.
That move, you made that move on October 1st?
October 1st.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. Borderline stupid for a lot of people. They would say that was stupid.
Yeah.
But we killed him on the first evening. And sometimes you have to go all in to risk it. And
so it's a great buck and everything, but can you only shoot one buck in Wisconsin?
In Wisconsin, we can shoot two.
Oh, two? With a bow?
But this was in Iowa.
This was in Iowa.
Oh, it was in Iowa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But back to what you're saying, which is when the wind's perfect and all that, from a farm management standpoint, it's a 233. Yes, you got to do what you got to do to kill that deer.
Sure.
But from a farm overall big picture standpoint, it still is a drawn out process. You're like, are we really going to do this? Are we going to blow half, a third of our farm off for this deer?
Because if you wouldn't have killed them, you got different problems.
Right.
And other deer, right? Because if you let's say you go in and you miss the deer, God forbid, or blow him out, or he catches you, wins you, blows off. Now you screwed up that deer, and you leave the first day of your season knowing that you screwed that deer up, which was your number one target. And oh, by the way, you just started a stampede on the other side.
Right.
So,